this truth that I'm about to tell you, it'll set you free from religion. It'll set you free from parents and moms and family and governments and police, everybody. It'll set you free. And it's simply this. You are divine. God has exploded in a Crab Nebulae explosion, and he has come and manifested himself as billions of people. And you're one of you, and so am I. When I look at you, I see God. When you look at me, you see God. That's why God's name is I am. I am God. It doesn't mean that me, God. It means I am. When you say I am God, you have to say, what is God's name? I am. What? I am God. Oh my God, then all the people, Christians run around, I told you they think they're God. I don't think anything on the side. No, Jesus Christ said, the scripture says you are God, and the scripture cannot be broken. So he said it.
Yeah, like I'm not third album.
Peace, 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 family. How are you all doing? My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Ascendant Astrology, and I am your astrology coach. Today, I'm going to be discussing the super blue full moon in Pisces happening on the 30th at 7 degrees. 9:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, welcome. Please like, share, and subscribe if this message resonates with you. And welcome to all my new followers and subscribers. I appreciate you all for being here. So, I actually really like this full moon, to be honest with you. Think back to what was going on when we had the new moon in Pisces, which will be at the top of my page on my channel. This is a good time to sit back and reflect to see what's ending, wrapping up, or coming to light. There could be a realization that something that we manifested back at that new moon is going to take a lot longer to achieve. And that's not a bad thing. We're in full-blown retrograde season. And we have two more planets going retrograde. One, the end of this month, which is Uranus, and then Jupiter in September. So, there's not going to be anybody rushing to get anything done at this time. In fact, I think things are going to slow down tremendously, or be more internal, or stay the same, like a steady pace of how things are ran or flowed. Although with Mercury going retrograde, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of delays with Mercury going retrograde, but for the most part, this is definitely a time to think back to the past. And then we have the eclipses coming up. This is just not a time to really be making any changes or moving quickly or anything of that nature. Unless this is something that you've been working on, you have completed something. There's always two sides to a coin. And now you can see those things coming to fruition. That's just how energy works. But on a grand scale, I don't see anything moving quickly. Even if you are starting something new and you're presenting it, you might notice delays, delayed responses, or the growth is delayed of whatever it is that you're starting. So, and that's not a good or a bad thing. Just energetically, nothing's really moving right now. But this is going to definitely challenge us to get more committed and being consistent with our spiritual practices. That's going to be the key. And, for people who don't really care too much about spiritual practices, this is your daily routines. The opposite of Pisces is Virgo, right? These are your daily routines, work, um, health, getting organized, um, and like feng shuiing, having a garage sale, cleaning out your closets, detoxing, and things of that nature really come with Virgo energy. And Virgo is going to be a big player because Mercury is retrograde, right? And the sun will be in Virgo. And so it's definitely going to highlight what you need to do to get through the slower energies, the more internal work, and committing to that. And then you'll have Saturn and Pisces conjunction, Neptune and Pisces conjunction, um, which is going to bring the Pisces energy in a lot more stronger. Things are going to dissolve. That you might be doing something right now that you think like you got your head set on it. This is your plan. This is what what you want, what you manifested. And you might notice that some of those things fall away or they disappear, or again, um, they're not showing up the way maybe you suspect them to or want them to. And that's because this is Spirit's way of saying, this is not where you're meant to go. They have something better for you. And so there could be a lot of dreams and signs, synchronicities that are coming in really, 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 really strong with Pisces energy to say, wrong turn, go back this way or go that way, a switch and change of direction, a switch and change of emotion, change of emotions, and decisions and things of that nature can come up right now because Spirit is stepping in to end some things naturally. It could feel very natural. It could feel like it was meant to be this way. And so you could be finding closure with this and comforts, um, relaxation even, or free even. Um, yeah. So I think I like this, to be honest with you. I think this overall, this is gonna be a pretty dope full moon. Um, But keep the faith to whatever you got going on and whatever you feel is lacking or not showing up. Take this time to relax, take care of your health, rest, retreat, watch some movies. Again, dive into your spiritual practices. This will allow you, um, or work on some creative project or what you like to do for fun. Even though Pisces is not fun, but it doesn't represent fun the way like Leo does, but you can definitely get into a trance. This can allow you to escape into some creative project. This brings great music. When somebody's really tapped into, um, I always reflect on the poem. I think it's a poem or like a quote or a saying or something like that. I don't know what's the name of it and what it's called. I don't even remember what it says directly, but there's like this quote where they have of somebody walking on the beach or footsteps in the sand on the beach and somebody's being carried, and it's like that somebody not believing that Spirit had their back, and Spirit says, in the midst of you being down, having downtime, um, and not knowing what to do, feeling in lack, sad, disappointment, deceived, It was me who was carrying you. That's why you never see the footsteps stop. Now, I know that's not how that saying goes. Don't judge me, okay? I don't remember. But Pisces energy is always a reflection of that to me. So when things aren't working out, when things seem really bad and you're in your feelings and you're isolating, staying to yourself, feeling like you don't want to be bothered, ghosting, and all those kind of terrible, narcissistic, everybody loves that word. I don't know why, but even if you're dealing with like narcissistic tendencies or people, um, where it kind of feels like you don't give a crap about other people, you're just doing you. This could even be self-care, taking baths, getting a massage, um, and things of that nature, even going on a trip or a vacation. Um, know that this is you trusting in the process, whether you can intellectualize that that's what's happening or not. It's you trusting that whatever, it didn't work out, so I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna cry. Whatever it is, you still have the Saturn getting going to turn direct in October, and then it still is gonna finish out the rest of its cycle transit. You'll get more pieces to the story. You'll get a fuller story, and you'll complete whatever it is that Saturn is trying to teach you. Right? So don't give up. Don't, be in the moment, and whatever that is for you, let it be. But know that there's more. Saturn's not done with you yet. Okay. um, yeah. This can highlight disappointment, deception, pharmaceuticals, toxicity, narcissistic behavior. Or this can be actual toxicity, like toxic water. Pisces is a water sign. Um, and things of that nature. On a higher level, it can highlight compassion, acts of service, because it's opposite of Virgo, and Virgo rules the service industry, and doing for others, um, fixing things. Virgo likes to fix things or people. Um, and this is what you get the opportunity to fix something, right? To correct something, to redirect something, to unclog something, to declutter something, and I think that, that's how you'll know which side of this is you're on, whether it's your experience is in a negative way or the positive way. It doesn't really matter. Um, it's just about accepting where you are, knowing that if things slow down, it was just meant to be. It's also teaching us to change our habits around health, what we do on a regular basis. I talked about this several hundred times before, a 4-hour work week. I don't know if anybody's ever read that book, but when I read that book, I was like, holy shit. Like, we waste a lot of time each day. And that definitely has a lot to do with working 9 to 5, and having your own business. Um, and how you structure your day to get things done, to having time for yourself. Um, Virgos are superb at decompartmentalizing, right? And so having that gift and talent to structure your life in a way that's like work smarter, not harder. Um, And in order to get there, that means you might have to untangle a lot of things, habits, scheduling, um, having like time management, um, writing things out. Um, I feel like everything is needy, tidy in its place where it goes. Like, I think Virgo energy is just superb for being able to structure that. And we'll all have the opportunity to tap into that, because Virgo's like wants to get things running like clockwork. Our dreams can be sending us messages to guide us towards, whatever our bigger goals are. So pay attention to your dreams. This is definitely dream journaling and writing down signs, symbols, messages, researching numbers. If you're seeing 111 all the time, 555 all the time, 1010 all the time, paying attention to those things, and then when you see them, write it down and go do the research, because it's probably trying to show you something that you could feel confused about, unsure about. I feel like this Pisces new moon always brings up very auspicious energy, especially because it's a blue moon. So blue moons are when you have 3 moons in 1 month, whereas typically only 2, and they're very rare. They don't happen all the time. Um, but when they do, especially in the sign of Pisces, which rules ghost spirits, other dimensions, telepathic communication, past life regression, things like this. It could definitely be like um, even more of that energy. This is definitely like Halloween energy too, even though, Halloween is in Scorpio, but when I'm thinking about ghosts or scary movies, sci-fi, and like really weird shit happening, um, this could definitely be Piscean energy for sure. Amped up in a way. And it's a super moon, so super moons are just like closer to the earth. And so we're ruled by our emotions, which is ruled by the moon. And so everything is like very overwhelming, very big, stronger. I think we might see a lot of people reacting not so kindly to you if you're deciding to, you know, take on this escapism energy, isolation energy, and do for yourself. It could be the drunk text, the call where somebody's just like cursing you out before they even tell you why they called, and so you're like lost and confused, like what the fuck just happened. The calls and the hanging up, um, stuff like that could be happening. Um, the crazies come out with supermoons, okay? The crazier sides of ourselves tend to come out during supermoons. But yeah. Um this is a very, let's get real about our spirituality, health, and healing. We could be releasing and letting go. Full moons are definitely about releasing and letting go, or highlighting things that you didn't see. This could be like a blind spot, literally, because Pisces rules things that are happening behind the scenes, that are hidden, that are private. Um, and so, for sure, um, this is going to highlight things around pharmaceuticals, hospitals, health, um, the workplace, your habits and what habits you need to change, um, coworkers, and how they really feel about you, or a boss, even perhaps with Saturn and Pisces. Mm, yeah, this could be a very gossipy with Mercury and Virgo retrograde in the workplace and hospitals, or these could be like journalists or news media and information of people, um, not specifically people, well, there are people, but specifically whistleblowers, because Virgo is the health department, it's human resources, and when you add media and somebody who's a journalist, a writer, a critic, um, these people got the inside scoop on these themes, Piscean and Virgo themes, right? And so there could be a lot of stories and things coming out about specific health issues. Virgo is the gut. Um, and Pisces is the feet. I hope I got Virgo right. Don't quote me on that. Go do your research because I might be wrong about that, but definitely in the health field. Um, we can be hearing just like a lot of stories that have been hidden coming out right now. We could be releasing old relationships, old baggage, old patterns and habits. Again, if you stay committed to something that you started during the new moon and you've been consistently working on something and having faith that it's going to work out regardless of how fast or slow you've been moving, or how fast or slow it's taking you to get to the completion of something, you will see things come to fruition. Um, mm, 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 mm. Pisces is going to feel this the most, along with mutable signs. So mutable is Gemini, Virgo, Sag, and Pisces. Um, Especially if you have it at 7 degrees. Pisces rules addictions, prisons, hospitals, health, mental prison, medication, pharmaceuticals. I think I said that already. Lack, loss, fogginess, confusion, illusions, delusions. So this could be weather, crazy weather. Um, um, or a lot of self-talk, critical talk, kind of badgering and beating yourself up mentally in your head. Be careful for that. Find a creative project or outlet or writing something that or whatever gets you um in a happy place. Going out, getting out in nature. Virgos love to be out and about. Um, so getting out in nature, um, hell, it might be going to work for some people. But try not to overwork. Um, it could defeat whatever messages are trying to come to you if you've got too much going on and you're overwhelmed. Try to keep it to something that you can manage and structure your time around um, as so for an outlet. Um, be careful with the working stuff because this could definitely be somebody who's overworking. This could be somebody a shock and surprise to people who is used to somebody like always coming into work. They're always early. They leave late. And then they just drop off the face of the earth. Like, what the hell happened to so and so? They're always here and blah 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 blah. You know, it could again something could be dissolving that's helping you change a pattern, a habit that you have that is not good for you. Um, this could be codependency, the enabler. Um, mm, Something could be coming to light about being too nice and kind and empathy and sympathy and compassion. Even like giving back and giving too much of your time away. Um, that something about that could be coming to light about there's no balance. You're doing something too much and it could make you sick, or you get sick, or something can happen in such a way that it's going to show you like you gotta put some perspective on that. Um, Narrow it down to 1 day a week, or every other weekend where give or do something for somebody. And if somebody asks you to do something for them outside of that, what you have set up, you're going to have to learn how to say no. Especially with Mars going into Libra. I'm doing some of the notes on that right now, and I literally want to go hide under a rock because I'm not ready. I have Mars in Libra natally, so this is a Mars return for me, and I'm going to be forced to sit down and think about all the things that I do too much of. Where am I out of balance? And so Pisces can have that kind of enabler energy like Libra. Libra is very passive aggressive, um, really sweet, kind, naive, even. And you've got to balance that. You've got to put some perspective on it, especially with Saturn being in Pisces. This is gonna hold your feet to the fire, hold you accountable. Remember, we're in the axis of Libra and Aries now, and Aries is in the North Node. So all that Libra giving too much energy is definitely going to dissipate. With Aries being in the North Node, Aries is going to be like, no, fuck that. What am I getting for it? You know, or um, holding you accountable that if you are going to be given, making sure that you get back something in return. Whatever that is, it could be a hug, right? It doesn't have to be some grand old thing or something that's super, super uncomfortable. Whatever it is that works for you, but you need to make sure that you're getting it, right? And holding people accountable for getting what you expect in return. Or else I'm telling you right now, with Aries, it's gonna be trouble. I'm actually looking forward to it. So if I get a little snappy over the next 18 months, try to remember I'm going through some shit, okay? But it's really about forcing us to stand up for ourselves, right? Don't be a pushover. Don't let people walk over you. Don't let people take advantage of you. Speak up, closed mouths don't get fed. Um, and standing on that, you know. Um, mm, this could be very overwhelming with all the mutable energies and the super moon. Um, but on the upswing to those lower expressions of Pisces is very kind, empathic, sympathy, um, compassion, spiritual, unconditional love, healing, very, very creative. Um, Signs, symbols, synchronicity, sleep. You could be more sleepier than normal or lazy, or even like again, that escapism energy where you could totally have a whole plan, right? But you forget, like, oh shit, I said I was gonna do blah 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 blah. And next thing you know, you're already on season 6 of your favorite show, or you're on board 9 when you started off at board 2 of your favorite video game, or um, you pay for an extra half an hour when you told folks you was going to be back in an hour from your massage. Um, you oversleep. Um, you go for a walk, say you're going to come back in 15 minutes, end up walking 30. I mean, these types of things can happen with Pisces energy. It's like you get lost in translation. So you want to put it to something that's obviously more positive. Not to say that any of those things aren't, but um, remember Saturn is in Pisces now. So if you are doing it and you realize you do it, sit down and reflect and be like, damn, that must have been something I really needed to do. How can I incorporate that in my schedule and my routine moving forward so that I can do things that are making me happy? Just remember that if you are falling into those habits, that Saturn just wants you to be more realistic about it. don't let it overpower you to the point where you're not getting anything done, right? Add it to your schedule once a week, twice a week, every other week, so that you can, get some solace, some rest and relaxation, some time to think and reflect. Those things are just as important to your goals and dreams or any part of your life to making decisions as having goals and dreams and accomplishing those things, right? They play a big part in it. If you want my honest opinion, if your health's not good, I don't give a damn what goals you got. Uh, you're not going to live to see that goal being played out. So what's the point? So it's really important. Um, this could also be like drugs, alcohol, addictions, um, and overdoing it, overdosing. Hopefully, that's not anything that anybody's going through. Depression, sadness, um, deception, feeling like nobody's there to support you. So you have to escape or isolate because you're just not getting the support that you need. Um, um, yeah. So be careful with those types of things. Do, 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 do. Doing things behind the scenes. So again, if something's coming to light about something that you've been working on or some creative project, um, writing a book, publishing a book, because the ancient ruler to Pisces is Jupiter. This could be that you've been losing weight, working on a weight plan, a diet plan, a workout plan. Um, or that you're traveling and you disappeared and then you show up and you're like in another country doing some ayahuasca or dream past life regression stuff or some healing retreat or something like that. And it doesn't have to be those themes because Jupiter is very fun and upbeat. This could just be for the fun of it. Like, you know what? I got sick and tired of the bullshit. So I just left. I just woke up and I fucking left. Right. And so it could be that too. Um, Doing some meditation and yoga, all spiritual practices here, astrology, even and even the scorpionic themes of astrology, counseling. Um, it could be those things as well. Um, yeah, so I still like this full moon for the most part. I think it's gonna be really dope. And then the moon, every time you have a full moon, it's opposite the sun. And so again, moon in Pisces opposite sun in Virgo. Um, Even though we might want to reflect and hide away, we might have someone or something kind of pulling or tugging at our energy, like, why won't you respond to me? This could be spirits. No bullshit. Y'all think I'm playing. This could be dreams, or you might just be pulled to read or study about these things, the paranormal, or watching the movies and things of that nature. Somebody's trying to get your attention. For what, good or bad, I don't know. But it could definitely be a theme that you're not going to be able to fight or ignore. And you shouldn't, because you could get closure or answers to something that you've been longing for that could bring you happiness. Even if you're learning it or watching a movie or something like that, it's bringing you some kind of message that's going to help you release and let go of something that you could be holding on to emotionally. Um, I was watching The Flash. Was it last night? Last night or the other night? Hell, I can't even remember. I'm already in it. I'm already there. Um, I'm already spaced out, I swear to God. But I was watching The Flash last night, and now I watched it when it first came out, but if you know me, I don't pay to go to the movies anymore. I got a website that I cheat on happily, by the way. And and so when the movies first come out, they're bootlegs. You can't really see it clearly. And so I mean, I feel like I got the gist of the movie, but when I watched it again, last night, I was like, oh, so basically the moral of that story is that he learned that he can go so fast that he can speed into other dimensions in the past and change time and shit, right? Like Doctor Strange, right? And and he was trying to save his mom, but he had to learn the message that, he was not meant to change that. Those things happened to him for a reason, and he had to accept that. It was so hard watching that movie, which, by the way, another theme that can be coming up with this energy is the need to fucking cry, especially if you have to let something go that you really don't want to, whatever that is, whether it's a person or a habit. And um, this could make you want to cry. I was crying like a baby because you should have seen how hard it was for him. Even in the movie, he kept doing this repeated loop of trying to change the past so that this one person in the movie wouldn't die. Like, he would not give up. Dude, I swear to God, he did that shit like 30 times. I wanted to choke him after a while. And when I say him, this was his younger self, right? And it was very interesting watching that play out because it's like, what are the stories and things that we're repeating over and over and over again, thinking that we can change something when it was already written, right? So there could be something like that going on. But it was definitely a realization for me that I really need to find some time to sit down and think about the things that I am repeating. Like I said, especially with my Mars and Libra return coming back up. It's like, what am I doing that I've always been doing that I really need to like cut the bullshit? Because it could be blocking my blessings, right? In some kind of way. But it was like one of those moments where it's like, oh shit, like I don't know how to explain it, but it was very eye-opening in the moment. And these could be, the way things are coming to us right now in all different kinds of ways, but it definitely could be through movies, signs, symbols, and synchronicities. Um, or people. Um, But this is definitely if you have someone who's hurt you or ghosted you, um, um, breadcrumbed you, is very low vibrational Pisces energy, um, where people might kind of attract these type of relationships, or even somebody with addictions who um in their waking state, in their conscious state, they're probably really fucking awesome people. But when they're drunk, they're absolutely really tough to deal with. It's not what I was gonna say. um, and the worst parts of these people come out. It could be abusive and verbally abusive, and um you staying there, being in that relationship, thinking that you being there is going to help them change. You're enabling them to not change. And these could be other things that can be coming up. And so if you found the strength to leave already by the time this full moon comes, use your discernment, because you might feel intuitively like something's not right, but you can't ignore the fact that something's just fucking off, and you don't know why because you don't have proof or it's not clear. Just trust your instincts right now. Go with the flow. Continue doing what it is you're doing, and things will come to light. Like I said, with that Saturn work, even if that means you're supposed to go back to that person. But for right now in the moment, there's something that you need to see, that being around that person or that energy is not going to allow you to grow and evolve, right? Um, you might have coworkers who are saying you're not answering your phone, or like I was saying earlier. This could be practitioners that come through for you, or they're highlighting a health issue for you that you absolutely don't want to hear. Or it could be very discouraging. Something that leads to you having to work on something. On the world stage with Mercury retrograde, I feel like unfortunately these could be themes like COVID coming back, illnesses coming back, or a lot of people just getting really sick. That's gonna make us practice more, because I feel like in my last video I said that they might try to bring people back in the office full time. And I was wondering whether they were going to keep the option to work from home. I think this is going to be the full moon that's going to let us know that, because I think so many people are going to get sick, or there's another variant or something like that is going to come up in some way, fashion, or form of fashion. That's going to challenge us to keep that healthy balance of, well, you can still work, but do it from home, or do what you can anyway. Um, or there's that lag period, right? Like with COVID, I think it was something like you had to stay home for 2 weeks if you got sick, and you couldn't come back until after the 2 weeks to make sure, that was like the period of time that suggested that you would definitely be better, type of thing. Something to that effect, especially with Saturn and Pisces, is like some kind of structure or system set around illness and sickness, um, or to deal with any kind of illness or sickness that might come up. Um, mm, yeah, I'm trying to see what I haven't said already. Oh, this is drunk down. I think I did say that. Or depression or victim mentality, self-criticism, ask for help, get some help, get some help, get some help. I can't stress that enough. But Google had announced the ability for Google to take off any information that is considered false news. So there's something changing there about information, freedom of speech, and what you can and can't post, especially on your social media pages. That might amp up. Um, yeah. Um, This is great for intuitive work, imagination, creativity, feeling more passionate and sensitive when it comes to your relationships. Um, we could be really in tune with others' emotions, being more understanding and able to create deeper connections. Um, Good practices and any spiritual practices around water, baths, sprays, meditation, dream work, healing work, watching a movie with a bottle of wine. Things of that nature could be really good for this full moon. And you can look on Google and Google like um, manifestations for Pisces full moons. You'll get a whole bunch of different stuff to come up for like herbs and for people who are into those types of things. I should have wrote them down, but I didn't. I still could. I'm early enough. Who knows? I might, and then I'll post it on IG for the herbs and things of that nature. But anyway, y'all, as usual, I love and appreciate you. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.